Every single morning I wake up and in my head is this voice. I think it's a dream that I forget about every day. It's like the universe is telling me while sleeping every single night, more gear, you need more gear. And I'm like, yeah, I need more gear. Whew, yeah, there it is, more gear. Don't worry, it's absolutely necessary. I promised a couple of days, weeks ago, no more gear, because like the table right here, it's like entirely filled with stuff that is good, that I need, that makes fun while making music and helps me improve the sound a tiny bit. The stuff in the back right there is necessary. I have to buy it. I have to get it. There is no way around. You'll see once I've unboxed it. I don't get it. It already has scratches, dents, like... And no, it's not me opening it. That's probably the most boring thing I've ever unboxed. It's not gear, but it's to put gear in. And the more stuff you have to put gear in, the more gear you can get. And I bought 4 of these with like 8 height units for rack mounted stuff. The plan is very simple. These 4 units will actually replace the mess inside the table. So imagine 4 of these next to each other. I will connect them somehow and then put all of them in there and then all of the equipment in them. Because right now the stuff I've constructed myself, you see there's like a height difference here. It doesn't look so clean over here. Like, it's just not as professional as it should be. Also the table has like a wobble to it. Very dangerous if you consider what's like mounted to the table. So I have someone that will stabilize it with metal, like between the 2 legs. And then on top these racks, then the rack units in there and all like, not soldered, what is like schweißen? I don't know the English word for it. Welding, I knew that. Anyways, like it's being welded, like very strong connection, all metal. And then on top, wood and probably some foam to make my hand. You see like everything here is always red because the entire day my hand is there and like doing stuff in the computer. I'm sure all of your hands will look pretty much the same. Anyways, let's clean up, make some music. Just finished another fun session today. I just started a song from scratch because there are like some new things within Logic, at least new for me, that I haven't used because in the past 3-4 months studio constructing and just finishing and mixing songs. So I played around a little like with the Logic sampler, the new one, the quick sampler, and the drum, what is it called? DMD. Drum Machine Designer. It's basically just like a stripped down version of Battery. But I started like making like a drum groove and it's bad, but I will still share it because there are some interesting creative bits in there that are kind of cool, and I try to play some melodic parts to it, but I don't know, today's just not my day for like creative, good, kind of catchy melodies. But yeah, let's check some of the elements out. That's just a kick, very standard, but has like a nice click and oomph like in the low end to it. And then the drum designer thing with a couple of samples. And I actually first had even this loop in there because I wanted something funky. So far, nothing special. Sounds like a kick and like a drum loop on top. But then I started like, I don't know, doing like random stuff. And sometimes random stuff leads to cool stuff. So for example, chopped up like the last bit of the loop for the end. Just to give it like something new and fresh every couple of bars. And then I had like, I wanted like something on one. So I took this, it's actually I think a crash or a hat. I went through the sauce to pitch it down and change the formant. So without it, made it more hizzy, more high kind of. Low cut, of course, sample delay to make it wide, reverb, of course, to make it long. And I then like bounced it again, chopped it. Like all of these other bits are the tail of the reverb. So the part right here, that's missing. Because I thought it's kind of interesting that you hear like the crash on the one, and on the snare clap, it stops. And then just repeated like the tail always in front of the kick to like have something that goes towards it. And as you can see, I cut it right before the kick, so the kick has room again. Could even like reverse this part, maybe. I'll try it out. Yeah, let's do that really quick. Yeah, that's cool. Even like leaving on both, so let's copy it down here. Yeah, like listening to it without a lot of other elements, it's a little annoying, but if you bury it in the mix, you have that feel towards the kick without having something annoying in there. Then I added even like a real crash on the ones to emphasize them even more. Some vinyl. Very simple, and I'm not happy with it because it's not cool and it doesn't have any kind of style, but like those hats and like some of the techniques are interesting. There is a fly in the studio. Oh no. Oh. I hate it, like that noise. Anyways, I tried out melodic parts, that sub bass line. Higher bass line. Just playing that rhythm. And then I started ARPs, but again, it just sucks. Yeah, I don't know yet, but I also started like automating that ARP. If you put like all of that in it, the loop doesn't feel so boring, annoying, and like a loop where you don't want to work on it. So I started automating already in that very first loop kind of part and session. It also like I play around with the cutoff here and there, and then I just draw it in to have it already in there. Makes it easier to work on the loop, and it doesn't get boring that fast. Because music is like, you need to listen to it over time. If it gets boring, it's kind of pointless. So I always do these things immediately. And I think like, except for the melodic bits and pieces, I can keep like the drums kind of, but yeah, maybe delete that loop. Yeah, I think the loop has to go. That's like always what happens to me when I use loops. I use them as a starting point and a reference point, which makes mixing a lot easier because you have something there that someone else already mixed. But then when I get to a later stage, I usually mute them, delete them, or chop them up to like single one shots that I just need. Because that loop isn't tight, the heads don't sit properly. I already tried moving it around, shifting it a little, made it even worse. And it is like too funky. I want to have something dark and deep, especially with those ARPs. That's kind of the progress today. I also worked on another song, the one with Salvo. I can't share it. I still can't share it. Like the contract is missing, the last emails, everything, but then I'll be able to present to you the follow-up of Secrets. There was like another box, a small one, and that one will solve to some extent probably the thing most of you absolutely hate about my studio. I get trashed in the comments every single day because of it. You have to look closely to see the change that was in the package. So you already know what it is? Has to do with the table, especially underneath of the table. It looks so clean. Like all of the cables are like, they're not gone, they're just not touching the floor anymore. So it looks a lot cleaner. That's like one little step closer to finishing this studio. More tomorrow, because I got some construction material. I got more stuff to repair some cables. One more LED light. Anyways, I want to see some claps in the comments for making sure your OCD isn't being triggered anymore. But for the ones, because there were a few that were like, yeah, it's kind of cool to see the... No, okay, actually no one was like that. But for the ones that do not exist, I still got cables for you. See? It's still all there. It just moved from the floor a little up, and one day it will be gone. Like ordering these racks for building the table is already one step towards solving this problem. I have to be honest, the table I messed up entirely. Everything else is as perfect as it gets. Some cosmetic things that are on my to-do list. If everything goes as planned, everything will be done until the speakers arrive in 3 months. If I don't make it, take this video, play it to me, and tell me you failed big time, because it's about time to finish this place. Until then, just focusing on music, making as much as possible.